Should I start?
No. We just okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chairman Peter Cha, CEO of Accenture. We are actually having the fifth time of Accenture Open Tech Day. So this time, this month, May 27th, we are working together with Hong Kong government agencies to start me a festival. And we'd like to introduce the 12 startups around the world to expose themselves into the global market regarding the smart city solutions and their own solutions and technologies. So this is actually the first part of out of four parts of smart city pitching session. So we have the three companies in the first part, and the first company is Dealogikal from Singapore. The second company is EVShare from the United States, and lastly, Rytle from Vietnam. So, Ira, Dealogikal, you have a lot of noises from your end. Ira?
I'm here.
Okay, so you have a lot of noises from your computer, I think. Is everything else okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay, so Selena, can you mute of your computer? Can you mute Selena?
Sure.
Yes.
No. Ira, you're unmuted. Selena, you unmute, and my unmute again here.
Okay.
So now you have 8 minutes to pitch your company and solutions, and we are good to go.
Great. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. My name is Ira Keener. I'm the Chief Janitor for Dealogikal Corp. What we are is a smart supply chain for everyone. And today, I'm going to give you a glimpse into the future of smart procurement and smart supply chain. So the problem with traditional commodity trade is that the process is excruciatingly painful. It takes like such a long time just for one to basically procure the best price in the market so that they can resell at maximum profit. So in addition, there's limited access to financial tools and limited access to logistics providers, along with limited access to storage facilities. So enter Dealogikal. Dealogikal is a fully digital end-to-end solution addressing the key problems in the procurement process in the Philippines and in various parts of the world. So what Dealogikal does is that it introduces a truly competitive selection process that generates the best price in the market via a reverse auction superimposed over a digital marketplace. In addition, it introduces a custom payment solution that introduces liquidity for businesses that produce a basic commodity and provides businesses access to multiple logistics providers as well as storage facilities. So who can benefit from Dealogikal? So there are many industries and sectors that we are part of. These are just some of them because of the all-pervasive nature of commodities like oil and gas. Many industries and sectors all rely on oil and gas. And so these are just a few of them. So as far as the product interface goes, we have easy order placement, a need-driven timeline, competitive selection process, automated documents, a custom payment solution, and order tracking. As far as market size goes, these are the various commodities that we currently carry on the platform. So each of these are in varying degrees of development. Oil and gas is fully built out. Construction materials is pretty well developed already, and as well as agriculture. The other ones are still being worked on or in the pipeline. But notwithstanding, the total market share, the total addressable market is at 183.3 billion US for the Philippines alone. And so our customers love us, at least we like to think so. And these are their kind words for us. And as far as our competitive advantage, Dealogikal is in a space of its own, owing mainly to the fact that Dealogikal superimposes, again, a competitive selection process or a reverse auction for procurement, and that's juxtaposed over a digital commodity marketplace. As far as our go-to plan goes, so Dealogikal wants to foster bilateral trade by and between the ASEAN and around the world. In this case, we're also looking at the European Union as a potential place for cross-border trade between the production capacities, amalgamating the production capacities in the ASEAN, as well as amalgamating the production capacities in other parts of the world, identifying the top exports and imports by and between both regions, and fostering bilateral trade. As far as our business model and traction goes, we have an end-to-end solution, as I previously mentioned. So that starts us off with an auction where we take 1.5 to 3% for every successful deal. And then it proceeds to a FinTech solution where we provide 30 to 40% per annum for access to trade finance when working capital solutions are needed. Logistack, we take 1% of gross market value fee to the buyer vis-a-vis a monthly subscription fee for logistics providers within the Dealogikal ecosystem. So in other words, we provide our users with access to logistics, third-party logistics providers, and we also charge the logistics providers a subscription fee. And then we also have capacity, which is a warehousing and storage solution. As far as our numbers go, the bar chart on the right can depict the way our company behaved in terms of transaction volume and actual volume of oil and gas moved throughout the COVID period. So spanning the January 2020 all the way until April 2021, you can see that there is an uptrend. And I guess the story that is told here is one of sustainability and reliability. As far as our ask goes, our seed round, we're looking for $1 million in the convertible note with the following terms below. So that would entail a 10 million valuation cap, discount rate, or a 10% discount rate to the next financing round, with a 0% rate of interest rate per annum, one-time liquidation preference, maturity date until the next funding round, with a weighted average anti-dilution clause. And the way that we plan to use the $1 million is to basically structure it as depicted by the pie chart that you see on the right. As far as our management team goes, that's me on the left, goofy looking guy, and my two co-founders, JC and Josh, who are both champions in their respective fields. JC is an expert in technology and operations, and Josh is an expert in sales and marketing, both of whom have had work experience with the world's largest search engine. As far as our advisors go, we have Nina Nersano, who works for Harchi Capital, one of the largest commodity trading firms in the world. Glenn Gakilio, a certified Scrum Master for the last 15 years and has done extensive work for large banks in Singapore. We also have Peter Kamlani, who did work for Philip Morris and Diageo, who distribute basically the products that Philip Morris makes, and Diageo distributes products like Johnny Walker and Jack Daniels, among many others. So we have some champions in their respective fields. And here at Dealogikal, we like to create a world where demand can meet supply cheaper, faster, and better. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your some amazing presentations. I think there might be a lot of questions from the judges. So,
Sure.
Laura, are you based in Singapore right now?
I am actually based in the Philippines.
Or in the Philippines? So, how many operations do you have? How many offices do you have?
We have we have a footprint in Vietnam through a partnership with the university.
Mm-hmm.
In the city of Bin Dong, there's a university there where we basically maintain an office, and so we have a footprint there. We also have a footprint in Singapore, and a footprint in the US. So we've opened up entities in all four regions for strategic reasons.
Okay, great. So, all right. So so we have the questions from the judges. So, Selena, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you. Wonderful. Big congratulations for the team. So I have questions. Firstly, you are looking for 1 million, and then how you spend that money to expand how much percent of the market in South Asia. Example, like have you plan to enter for the Vietnam very near futures? And even in the COVID, our GDP is growing, and a lot of construction and building, like every day, everywhere in Vietnam. So is that the very near future market for you guys? And I come back to the questions. So 1 million for how many percent market in next few months or like 1 year? Because I can see that the revenue already growing in your business. Thank you.
You're welcome. And yeah, great question. So if I understand correctly, you're asking how what our go-to plan is, or our go-to market plan is for Vietnam. Is that accurately represented?
Yes.
Yeah. So through the university that we're working with, they're producing market intelligence, and we are looking to scale what already has worked for us here in the Philippines. So I guess this is best illustrated through an example, a real life example. So there are many gas stations in Vietnam that basically don't necessarily buy all of their fuel from the same supplier. So here in the Philippines, a lot of like these off-brand gas stations like use our platform in order to procure from any one of the large companies that supply oil and gas. And so because like there are high barriers to entry in the oil and gas space, the experience, the specific industry experience that we've had throughout the last so many years that we've been doing this has enabled us to basically develop relationships with Chevron, Total, Phoenix, Petron, Mobil, Eni, so some of the largest like brands, for oil and gas. I'm just using oil and gas as an example in this case. So it pretty much democratizes access to these facilities. So one of our strategies for growth in Vietnam would involve replicating those processes that have already worked well for us here in the Philippines. But in addition to that, what we'd also like to do is basically package up a lot of the production capacity that Vietnam currently has, especially now that we know that a lot of the production capacity that was once in China, but then due to the I guess the trade war between the U.S. and China, a lot of that production capacity is going over to Vietnam. And so we feel that Vietnam is a very strategic location, and we would definitely like to onboard a lot of the manufacturers from Vietnam and showcase their products to the rest of the world.
Okay, sounds good. We have other judges, so we actually have 5 different judges at a time. They are trying to give in specific questions, but Sonia, do you have any specific questions about the company to ERA? You are muted now. Can you unmute it?
Sorry. Thank you for your presentation. I'm actually fine right now. I need to look a little bit more deeper to ask for further questions, and if I do, I will definitely relay it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Ira, I have a question though. So you are focusing on the Vietnamese market, right? So okay. So your solutions, have you ever tested it out of Vietnam as a kind of successful cases?
Yeah, being a company that just started in July 2019, we're just starting to take baby steps outside of the Philippines. So in the case of Vietnam, what we've begun to do is we've started out with the regulatory environment, and so we're making sure that we're in full compliance with all of the laws of Vietnam. And in the process of so doing, we're already doing our market studies with respect to potential markets that we'd like to tap into. But yeah, to answer your question, we don't have revenue generated from Vietnam yet. But based on our initial findings, we already see that there are many similarities between the Vietnam and the Philippine ecosystems. And so we feel that there's a very strong chance of success when it comes to scaling to Vietnam.
Okay. Do you have other questions, Selena? Do you have any specific questions more?
One more question. I have one more. So because then in Vietnam, if you launch a business and then next few months you have another competitor, so what is your most advantage, to beat the other competitor, besides a good team and you start having revenue now, but to come to the overseas market is also very big challenges. And Vietnam had a big number of this very young entrepreneur, so when you target Vietnam already, and are you ready and prepare for big competition here?
Absolutely. So that's a very good point, right? So that's a point on defensive moats. And as far as like our platform goes, the barriers to entry are quite high because in order to get into the oil and gas physical commodity trade, that requires a lot of experience, requires a lot of knowledge on trading of petroleum products, and having relationships with the largest oil and gas companies aren't easy things to come by. And so with us already having those in place, that gives us a leg up, and it allows us to take our first mover advantage and run with that as fast as we can, and until we develop something that's far more advanced than any other iteration that might attempt to come and replicate what we're already doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Peter,
much. Yeah, so
You're
I'm actually working on the smart city in Vietnam, and specifically Hanoi. But we have the extensive model, just like not only Hanoi, but also we are targeting on other cities, including Da Nang and Ho Chi Minh City, Canton. So, but we have two different angles, and one specifically about the public-driven projects. Well, actually, Hanoi Smart City is a PPP model, but is the endorsed by the Hanoi city government with Hoan Kien district. And other reasons, for example, in Ho Chi Minh City is probably the private sector driven initiatives. So do you have any specific preferences in working, maybe exploring more opportunities with the local partners in Vietnam? Do you have any plans with that?
Oh, absolutely. We'll take whatever we can get. So if there are parties out there that might be interested in collaborating with Dealogikal and taking this journey with us, we would be honored, and it would be a privilege.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much. And do you have any further questions, Ira? Or
I just want to apologize for not being able to have used my camera, and I apologize for having a signal that leaves much to be desired. But at the same time, I want to thank everyone, the audience, the wonderful panel of judges, and I just call your names out personally: Peter, Selena, Tammy, Sonia, and everyone else that's present here today. I wish all the other startups the best of luck, and yeah, great event. Thank you.
So we get in touch with you again later on after this one, okay?
See you in Vietnam.
Thank you.
I'm thrilled, Peter. I'm thrilled. Selena, thank you for your questions as well. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So next up, I think the EVShare, I think the presenter has some issues and to get connected with this session right now. So we just go ahead with Rytle. So if Rytle is ready, please let me know. Okay. So Abhishek, are you ready? So I don't see your face. So can you help him to be on the stage? Wonderful. Hi. Okay. So if you just let us know if you're ready.
Yes, sure. So hello, everyone. I'm from Rytle. I'm Abhi. I'm just going to share my screen with you for the Rytle presentation. Can you see my screen?
It's going to take a little while. So let's see.
Sure.
Minutes. Couple of seconds.
Yes.
Or otherwise, you can just try to do it again. You just click share button in the bottom of the screen and share screen, and click again on the blue one.
1 second. Yes, I am doing that.
Yeah. Window or entire screen doesn't really matter. So I think I prefer to use window.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. So
can you see now?
Okay, so you got to go now. You have exactly 8 minutes. I'm gonna count the clock.
Sure,
now.
Peter. Sure. Thanks. Hello, everyone. I'm Abhishek. I'm currently in Vietnam. I'm leading business development for Rytle in Asia Pacific. Rytle is a German e-mobility startup, which is disrupting the last meter. We were born in Germany out of the challenges presented by the regulators there, where the problem started with saying, let's block these big diesel vehicles out of the city center, and let's bring in more greener vehicles for last mile delivery. These are some of the challenges that we see in all our Asian cities. And like our CEO says, that we see today in today's world, we actually see this across all cities. So it's not just Asia, it's across the world. And funnily enough, at this point, I also want to point out that when we talk about smart cities, we see a lot of operators talking about smart mobility for passengers. But there is also smart mobility for cargo. And that causes a lot of congestion and carbon emissions in the city. Presenting to you the Rytle solution. We have made a micro hub and spoke model with the crux of our delivery system being the electric tricycle with a detachable box at the back. This box can carry about 200 kgs, and it has wheels at the bottom, so it can be pushed and rolled very easily. Right? And this is where we introduce a box-in-box concept. So the 10-footer container can accommodate 9 such boxes inside this. We also have a cold box for cold chain solutions, especially in Asia. Big deal, and all of it is connected through our platform and app. Just a brief explanation on how things work. Just to give you an example, especially in Vietnam. So if you are coming from the suburbs like Binh Duong into the major city, Ho Chi Minh City, is where a truck could carry the 10-foot container at the back, drop it in the city center. Once the hub is dropped in the city center, the riders are informed of this, and they can drive up with their vehicles to take up the boxes and roll on their vehicles. Time to roll a box is in 1 minute, and then they could go about delivering the cargo throughout the city center. These are some efficiency figures that we have delivered to our clients in Europe. Primarily, we are already deployed in Europe. So where we offered 40%, 50% efficiency increase, 40% cost savings, and above 60% of carbon emission savings. The vehicle has been developed as a smart vehicle for smart cities, where we are seeing very different use cases in every city. Yes, the primary use case is a sale or a lease to a logistics player, a brand, or a fleet owner, but where we are also in talks with cities to kind of deploy on an asset sharing basis, where the bike can be used for delivery of milk in the morning, couriers in the afternoon, and e-commerce parcels in the night. Talking about Vietnam, where I'm currently based out of, EVShare for us in Singapore, is the government push for clean mobility, especially in the congested cities of Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, and a rising figure of e-commerce growing in the country, with e-commerce shooting absolutely in Vietnam. Currently, we've seen about 3 million e-motorbikes and e-bicycles being deployed in Vietnam as well. These are some figures in Vietnam. Globally, we are deployed over in Europe and North America, USA and Canada, and we are working with some of these names right here, one of the biggest players. Recently in Asia, we launched through Yamato and are running our trials pandemic year, so November 2020, and we are looking at ASEAN as a whole, but with more focus in Vietnam. This is what we are on the lookout for: customers, partners, smart cities, regulators, advocates, influencers who could help us make a mark in the city. Thank you so much. That is that. How do I stop that?
Thank you very much for the presentations. I think the mobility is the biggest, agenda to be built up for the next level of innovation in Vietnam, as you probably understand. So,
Peter.
yeah. So the one unique difference is, comparing to the market in Vietnam to other cities in the Western countries or even other cities in Asia, is a quite a different atmosphere out there, right? So, because we see that a lot of the motorcycles are running around the cities, and also the people, they're ordering food, and the deliveries actually, they deliver the food and any kind of contents with the scooters or motorbikes. And I think that the e-commerce has a lot of potential in Vietnamese market from my perspective, and that is also one of the biggest agenda in the small city Hanoi. So what the question is so in terms of e-commerce, you need to have very healthy and constructive platforms to secure the subscribers, and then you just probably it could be maybe the B2B or B2C or C2C. Then what specifically you're trying to do to appeal the customers, the clients in Vietnam with the business solutions and the model. That is a pretty first question I have. And about the cost, because there might be a cutthroat competition in terms of the reducing the cost. I think the major barriers to this kind of market is not really high; it's very low. So eventually, the winners take it all. I mean, the bigger companies, they might actually have the better position to dominate these markets. Do you have any specific plan or strategies to, against those kind of competition model?
For sure, Peter. So for sure, you're bang on point. And just to clear out, we provide the assets to delivery companies. Right, so we work with e-commerce companies, logistics players across, or fleet owners, and we provide them. So we are basically an automotive sale or lease model. So we work B2B. We do not enter the B2C market. The challenge is real from motorbikes, that I can tell you, because in Vietnam, motorbikes can carry anything. And but I think a push for cleaner vehicles is coming, yes, and where in Vietnam the more focus is on people mobility, is making the electric motorcycle, and that is where we come in. Focusing is on cargo mobility exclusively, because we could offer twice the efficiency in the same amount, right? Instead of having 100 motorbikes, we could cut down that number to way less. So the efficiency and cost savings is very clear to our customers. However, at the moment we are facing regulatory challenges because a three-wheeler is not allowed in Vietnam. So we are fundamentally facing that challenge, and this is where we are kind of working towards. And this has been the case in Asia for us. So be it in Japan, Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, all of them. We've spoken to pan-Asian countries, Australia even for that matter. We've spoken pan-Asian, and regulatory challenges are the biggest ones.
I got it. Elena, do you have any questions?
I have a question. You said that I have two questions actually. One is that hi, this is Sonia. Sorry, I'm not on camera. But how fast is this last mile delivery? Like, what will be the average speed? How does it compare against like motorcycles? And you said efficiency is twice. And I'm assuming that you're referring to the parcel size.
Yeah.
Is this like 1 day delivery, or but when when we're talking about efficiency, there could be parcel size, but also the timing as well too. So is this referring to like the
Parcel
same day
size?
delivery, or sorry?
Yes, Sonia, got you on that. So the vehicle can move at a speed of up to 25 kilometers per hour,
Right.
right? But if you're based, so this does not go, the vehicle does not go from one area to another. So like in District 1 to District 2 in Ho Chi Minh City, you would not take it from one district to another, but it is more so within the area itself,
Right.
right? Between the small hems, between there. And efficiency in Vietnam per se, it would come is in parcel size, because you could carry twice the weight. So the driver does not have to go back to the hub in the same day, you see, or the refill can be brought to the driver or close to the driver rather than the driver going back to the
Right.
hub.
Yeah, I understand that. What I meant by efficiency is that there could be you're saying that the time and also the parcel size dimension, in both dimensions you are finding more efficiencies. And is this fuel based or electric based?
Electric. This is an
Electric,
electric.
right? Okay. But you said this company is in Germany.
Yes, we have
Right.
a
So for your company, which is based in Vietnam, what is your role? Like, are you the like the sales hub, or are you the distributor?
Yes, so we have two headquarters, one in Germany, one in Singapore. And through Singapore, I work with one of the co-founders. We have four co-founders, so one of them is based in Singapore, and together we are tackling the Asia market.
Right. So, and you
Yes.
said there are some regulatory risk in Vietnam. Can you kind of speak more on that? What is the regulatory issue? It's because for me, like I live in Korea, and we even have those like those like what do you call? I forgot the name. What do you call them? The
Scooters?
like the skateboards, electric skateboards. What I forgot what they're called.
Scooters, electric scooters. Yeah. They're called the
Yeah.
electric scooters, the one you can stand on. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's actually like a word for that. I forgot for some reason. I even had that. Anyhow, so that's how deregulated this market is compared to other markets. But what is hindering Vietnam in your view? And how do you plan to tackle it? You said you were planning to tackle it.
Yes, Sonia. So good question. Regulatory issues we are facing pan-Asia. In Europe, fundamentally we are classified as a bicycle, which means we do not need insurance. There's no registration cost, and the driver does not have to have a classification level driving license, right? So those are three fundamental ways where we save costs for our client as well. Now in Asia, in Vietnam, a very peculiar rule is there that three-wheelers are banned in 2008, which prevent the Chinese import into the country. And because of this, now a new age vehicle, which is electric, clean, and delivering efficiencies and carbon savings, is not per se classified or imported even. So I'm not even able to import a bicycle here in Vietnam, right? And so that is one of the challenges. We face something very similar in Japan, but this is the part where we take help of our customers. We have strategically aligned customers who wish to bring us to the market, and that's why we are also looking for an Asian manufacturing base as well. So yes, we are pushing a lot of those paperwork through partners or clients.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Sonia. Selena, do you have any?
Yes, I have many. It's interesting, like you guys were already in Vietnam. So my question is, in manufacturing is your guys' strength? Like you mentioned that you provide, right? Provide the pardon? You had a partner, right?
Licensed partner, yes.
Yeah, and the second question is, so how much is the cost for one unit? And up to date, the revenue until now for the market already, entering, right? So
we
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Selena. So we have about 500 bikes deployed in European and American cities, right? And where we have a European pricing because we are currently assembled and also manufactured in Germany. A lot of the components are there, but for Asian pricing, that is where we kind of want to bring the cost down by having a manufacturing base, maybe here in Vietnam or any other country in Asia. So that would be one point. Second point is the cost of the bike usually for my clients is they take it up on a lease basis. So they look for third-party financing. So Rytle, third-party financing clients. So this is something also works out because through leasing, through asset leasing, that is how we are able to match up to the delivery cost of the logistics companies currently. So we look out for all kinds of partners where we provide the vehicle and they can help us with other stuff to make it easy to deploy.
Thank you. So do we have the MVP in Vietnam?
We are trying to get one. If you can help me, please, that'd be really nice. We are looking for one, and hopefully we should have one in the next 2 to 3 months.
Thank you. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing Carl living in Saigon, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, Selena. So we are almost timed up now. So thank you very much for Rytle's involving in this to the Open Tech Day, and also Ira as well. You are just behind the stage. So we're looking forward to speaking with you soon after this one to further discussions on your potential involvement with the Hanoi Smart City project. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all Sonia and Tammy and Selena as being making the biggest contributions as the judges. All right, so we are next to move up. I mean, we are actually just changed the link. So I already just sent you